Good morning, dear students. Myself, Professor Sapna Sharma from Modern College, Business Administrative Campus, BBSC Department. So, welcome back, dear students, to this Artificial Intelligence course. So, into our previous sessions, we have discussed a lot of stuff of artificial intelligence. What is exactly artificial intelligence? How it has been invented, what is the rich history of artificial intelligence. Then we have underwent through the various concepts of artificial intelligence. Among one, we have studied like what is agent and how agents are very much important for the artificial intelligence. Then we have also underwent to the various type of agents. Then we have also covered up what are the various type of applications that are being built with the help of artificial intelligence technology. Later on, we have also seen the various type of artificial intelligence that are being there into this world, into this techno-savvy world. Later on, we have covered a specified part of artificial intelligence, that is machine learning. Then we have gone through the various type of machine learning. So into my last previous session, I have covered up the various type of machine learning algorithm, that was supervised, unsupervised and reinforcement. We have not only studied them, but we have seen the various type of applications and how they are being implemented actually. So dear student, in today's session, we would be going to the second feature of your artificial intelligence, or you can say the second pillar of your artificial intelligence, that is deep learning. Deep learning is very much important, just like your machine learning. We have already mentioned why we people are using machine learning into the artificial intelligence, because it gives the learning ability. So in the similar manner, what is this deep learning? How it is taking place, why it is so important, how it is being implemented into the artificial intelligence, and each and every step we will go through. So let's start, make a big dig into the deep learning, dear students. So the very first important thing that we should cover up, that is what is this deep learning? A simple definition. So deep learning is from the word itself you come to know. Deep learning means we are learning certain thing, but it is into the deep manner. So it is a kind of function of your artificial intelligence. Now what this deep learning is doing, it is working in the same manner how the human brain actually works. For example, we are able to see the data, okay, and after watching that data, we start processing that data into our mind, okay, and after processing that particular data, we start making a kind of pictures, or we just make a pattern, okay, we just make a theme inside our mind with the help of that data, and we try to take a decision. So this is what the deep learning is doing. It is doing the things into the three different stages. First, taking the data, then processing the data, and after processing the data, creating a kind of pattern or an image. If I use this data in this format, then it would be like this. If we use the data in that manner, then the picture would be like that. And automatically the decisions are being made on the basis of these patterns so far. This is what the deep learning is exactly. Let me move to the next part. So you can say that deep learning is a subset of your machine learning into an artificial intelligence. So it is just like an hierarchy, dear student. The parent is the artificial intelligence, which is which is having a child so called as machine learning, and again this machine learning is having a child so called as the deep learning. So in order to appropriately implement the machine learning, we need to require the deep learning. So deep learning would be doing some sort of functionality. The result would be provided to the machine learning. and the machine learning would be doing some operations onto it, and the result would be provided to the artificial intelligence. So it is just like a chain which is like, which is connected between the, like, three parties till now. Artificial intelligence to machine learning and machine learning to the deep learning. So basically deep learning is working on the network capabilities. The same network we people are having into our brain, into our body also we are having the same network. Like all the particular signals are being is being sent by your brain. And who carries these signal? The nerves carries these signal. The same way, the same concept is being used into the deep learning. There is a huge network, and what this network is doing, this network is sending and receiving the kind of signals basically, and on the basis of those signal, receiving or sending the signal, the actions and reactions are being performed so far. So when you talk about the deep learning, at that time specifically we are using the machine learning algorithm so called as the unsupervised. Into my previous session I have already mentioned you what is unsupervised. Basically, when you talk about the unsupervised algorithm, there you are having abundant of data, but that data is not labeled. Means you really don't know how much data is appropriate and how much data is not appropriate. So you're just getting a raw data and you have to filter that raw data basically. So here, when you talk about the unsupervised type of data is being there, that is unstructurized, unlabeled. There is no proper formatization. I hope everyone knows about the data structure. Data structure is also kind of language that we people are using, right? What is the purpose of the data structure? The purpose of the data structure is to store, to just make the data to be visible into the proper format so that we can easily access that data. But here in deep learning, the data is being generated in abundant, but that data is not into the sorted format, and we have to do that. Okay, so here when you talk about the deep learning is also known as what? Deep neural learning, or you can say deep neural network. Neural means what? There are small nerves and they are connected with each other in order to do some kind of functionalities. Let me move on to the next part. This is very important slide, dear student. This is a key point. So it is you can say that deep learning is an AI function. Just like machine learning is a function, in the similar manner, deep learning is also a function, okay, which would be having the carbon copy of same like your human brain. Mimics जो word यहाँ पे use किया है, it is it is showing you that deep learning is the carbon copy of the human brain. Whatever the human brain do, in the same manner the deep learning would be also doing. Processing the data, detecting the objects. Okay, we are also able to detect the objects, right? My mind, brain send the signal. See, walk carefully. There is an object in front of you. So ultimately, my brain is giving me signals so that I should be into a safer side. Nothing should happen to me. Okay. So it is not only detecting the object, but it also do the recognition of the speech. Recognition of the speech means what? What the front person is telling, what I am telling, right? I have a full control onto my language. How it is possible? Because my brain is having the control onto my language. My brain is sending me signal what to speak, when to speak, and where to speak. And whatever the front person is telling me, okay, I need to give the answer into that language itself. I need to give an appropriate answer. So how it is possible? It is possible because we recognize what is being told to us, what has been conveyed to us basically. So this is being done with the help of the recognition of the speech. We recognize the words, right? We recognize the words, we recognize the alphabets, we recognize the sentences in the same. This is all because of our human brain, and the same thing is being done with the deep learning. So whatever machine is using the artificial intelligence, so it would be having a deep learning, and deep learning is used for that specific purpose only. Next important aspect is translating the language. That is also important. Translating the language means what? For example, see sometimes what happen, whatever language I speak, that language is not being understandable by the other person. So what I need to do, I need to translate those points. I need to translate those points so that my message should be conveyed properly. My message should be conveyed properly. That is known as the translating the language. As you know that whatever the things you people are writing onto your computer, onto your machine is not at all understanding your language. So specifically what happened, your written text is being converted into the machine language, and then only the functionalities are being performed. So deep learning will do this also for you, translating the language, and on the basis of doing so much of things, detecting the object, recognizing the speech, then translating the language, so much of stuff, at last we are making the decisions onto the basis of these stuffs. It is very important. We cannot make the decision on the basis of one side of a coin. We have to make the decision onto the basis of different sides. I hope this point is very much clear to you people, because this is very important slide. It will make you to understand what exactly functionalities are being performed with the help of deep learning. Let me move on to the next slide, dear students. The next slide, the key point number 2, that is deep learning AI is able to learn without human supervision. Yes, correctly. If we are using the AI application, why we people are using the AI application? First of all, the most important question, that we don't require any assistance. My machine is so smart that it can use its own intelligence and can do the work. So deep learning is telling you that only. I really don't require any human supervision. And human should not tell me you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. That is what we people are doing in nowadays technology, right? We are making so much of applications, so we are just passing the instructions frequently. If this comes, then you have to perform this course of action. If this comes, then you have to perform that course of action. But in case of the AI, you don't have to do that. There should be no any different type of interpretations basically. Not sorry, the wrong word, interpretation. It should be interruption, should not be there. So for deep learning, human supervision is acting as an interruption basically. So deep learning would be using the data, okay, and they would be try to make certain decisions on the basis of it. So deep learning is using both the type of data, that is unstructured data and unlabeled data, both. So let me move on to the next part, that is the key point number 3. Now what is this key point number 3 is telling? That deep learning is a form of machine learning, can help us to detect fraud or money laundering. Means these are the examples where you are using the deep learning. You use the deep learning when you want to detect the fraud. So if you are having any kind of machine for XYZ application, right? For example, you just you are having any application where you need to find out the authentication or the identity of the user. So you can use this deep learning, right? So this deep learning will help you out in order to find out whether this person or whether this thing is fraud or not. Is there any kind of thing with respect to the money laundering or the other functions? There are a lot of functions, dear student, that are being performed with the deep learning. Because deep learning is it is just like a sense which is using the functionality very much perfectly. So deep learning unravel huge amount of unstructured data. Means like deep learning is using a huge amount of unstructured data. Okay. This is being taken you cannot imagine the amount of data the deep learning is having. Tons and tons of data are there. And when you compare your deep learning with your humans, the human will take decades to to just normally take this data, to just generate this data, to understand this data and to just process that data. where deep learning is able to do in a few instant of time. So you can imagine how much powerful this deep learning is basically. Right? Okay. So you now, as I like already mentioned you into my previous slides, dear student, that not previous slides and previous sessions also, that nowadays data plays a very important role. The people are using the data. From where they are able to get the data? From various points are there. You people are using the social media, right? You people are using a lot of different sites. Your data is being bifurcated from various platform to the another platform. A lot of data is being generated. This Facebook, Twitter, Tinder, right, Instagram, they are using your data. How they use your data? They use your data so that they can attract you people. They can make you people to stick at their application. They don't want to lose you people. That's why they do a different type of activities with respect to your data. So this is not a small thing at all, dear students. The data plays a very important role. And in future, if MNCs are able to generate a lot of data, if they are able to manipulate a lot of data, if they know how to play with the data, then only they can survive, because data will play a biggest role into the future world of technology so far. Let me move on to the next part. That is, in deep learning, nothing is programmed explicitly. Yes, you don't have to do any explicit programming, which you people are doing currently. In order to make any application, you have to do a lot of stuff. You have to write down thousands, line of codes, hundreds lines of codes, in order to implement stuffs. There you don't have to do. You don't have to do anything explicitly. Everything would be done by the machine itself. So basically it is a machine learning class, you can say, okay, that make a lot of processing basically. It make a lot of process. It try to extract the features and try to transform them. This is all about understanding. The output from each proceeding layer is taken as an input. Means the every particular layer would be generating certain output, and that output would be taken as an input. And again, this input would be generating certain output. Again, it would be acting as an input. So it is input is giving you output. At the next level, that output would be acting as an input. So this is just like a hierarchy of the layers which is going on. Layer by layer, lot of output is being generated, and again that output would be acting as an input for the another level. So this could be a very big thing basically. Next is how deep learning is implemented. How do you really implement the deep learning? So whenever you want to implement the deep learning, dear students, so first of all you should know what is neural network. Why we people are using this neural network basically? First you should know now what is neural network. So you can correlate it. You can correlate this particular concept with your biological things. Everyone is having the biological neurons into their mind, right? There is a big brain, and the brain is consist of there are the nerves, and these nerves are connected to each and every part of your body. Whether it is a heart, whether it's a hand, whether it's a eyes, whether it's a nose, whatever it is, everywhere you are able to find out the nerves, right? Your nerves are being connected with your brain. That is known as the neural network basically. So neural network is the biological neurons, which is nothing but the brain cells. Brain cells are there. Small cells are there. And they are leading to the neurons. They are connected to the neurons. Neurons are nothing but the nerves. Why? For what purpose they are used? They are used in order to send and receive the signals. That is obvious. We require the signals, then only we are able to implement certain stuffs. So deep learning is implemented with the help of the deep network. The same network what the human being are having into their head, in the same manner this deep network would be implemented or it would be used with the help of the technique so called as deep learning. So there will be like, multiple hidden layers would be there. Multiple hidden layers. You won't be having the like, knowledge of each and every layer, but there would be multiple like, hidden layers, and those multiple hidden layers would be doing the functionality step by step from one range to the another range. So this is very different aspect, dear student. You cannot like, you cannot map up the things. Right? And in this hidden layer, what will happen? The output of one would be acting as an input for the another one. Then again, the output of that layer would be acting as an input for the another layer. I hope these things are very much clear. I am just making my particular language as simple as I can. So let me move on to the next part. See, this is the way. So this is like, this is the first input layer. Okay, see, this is this is a kind of like, image, imagine. Okay, this is an image. So everyone would be trying to give them input. So this is just kind of like, the network which has been formed. This is the kind of like, network which has been formed. So this is the input basically. This is the input, and this input is also has made a kind of like, network basically. How every particular cell is being attached with each and every cell, with the each and every other cell. Okay, this cell's output is becoming the input for this particular cell. Again, the output of this cell would be acting as an input for the so many cells. Right, this is the way how the connectivity is going on, and all the cells, all this network is like, have a very flourish connection. Okay, this input layer is making certain kind of like, output, and this output would be acting as what? This output would be acting as an input for this hidden layer number 1. Okay, this input would be becoming an output. Okay, and this output would be acting as an input for this hidden layer number 1. So what exactly happens? See, I am having so many faces. So these faces would be input. They would be sent as an input. Okay, and here what will happen? The face recognition is going on. How the face recognition would be going on? I would be having the features. First of all, the very first level of the face is what? Features. Eyes, nose, ears, right? The face, the facial expression over here, right? So features would be there. So here I am having a database where the face features would be stored. So I would try to rectify the features, okay, and I would be generating certain output. Again, this output would be acting as an input for the next hidden layer number 2. With the help of this face feature, I would be able to rectify the faces. And once I rectify the faces, I would be getting an output layer. So this hidden layer number 1 and hidden layer number 2, what they are doing? They are doing a kind of like, processing. So this is an input and this is an output, and in between to the input and output, appropriate input and appropriate output, there are the certain hidden layers which we really don't know. They actually do, they actually perform the functionalities. Okay, they are having certain level of instructions inside it. So for this example, I am having the first step is like we need to find out the face feature, and the second step is like we need to find out on the basis of the face feature, we will be able to find out the faces. So the same thing I have explained over here. Basically what happened, the raw data as an image. In terms of image, it has been input. Okay. So what will happen, this raw data of image would be acting as an input for your hidden layer number 1. Okay. Now in this hidden layer number 1, what will happen? I would be talking about the face feature. Now what is this face feature? It would be talking about what type of eyes it is having, what type of skin tone it is having, what is the color of the eyes, what is the color of the lips, right? What type of nose it is having, right? Fine. and afterwards, once we get the data about the features, then we will go for the hidden layer number 2. Okay, hidden layer number 2. Now what this hidden layer number will tell you, this hidden layer number 2 will tell you the exact face, the correct face, and that correct face identification details would be sent to whom? It would be sent as an output. So here the same thing is happening. The data has been taken, it would be acting as an output to your hidden layer number 1. Hidden layer number 1 will give you some feature extraction that would be sent it to whom? To the hidden layer number 2. And again, this would be like, the perfect evaluation would be done, and on the basis of the evaluation, the output would be generated. So far. Fine, dear students. So I hope this particular diagram is very much clear and the concept is clear about it. When you talk about the architecture of the deep learning, so like, into architecture, there are the various levels. So we will go level by level, okay? The very first thing is deep neural network. Now what exactly it is? From network, you can come to know it is nothing but a kind of like, spider type of like, worm, where you are having the like, everything is interconnected with each other. It is forming a kind of like, huge network. So everyone is communicating with everyone so that the stuff should goes on. So it is a neural network that incorporate the complexity. Okay, it is a neural network that incorporate the complexity of certain levels. I mean, it tries to grasp the complexity basically. So this network would be having certain level of like, hidden layers inside it. There would be a lot of hidden layers inside it. Okay, and these hidden layers would be like, they would be mapped between like, between the input and the output layer, as you can see from the previous diagram. So this is your input and this is your output, and in between the input and output, you are having the hidden layers. Okay, they are highly proficient on models and process non-linear association. They try to form an association between each other, but that is not like into the serial manner. It is like, a bulk of things are moving. A bulk of things are moving. Right? This is known as the deep neural network. Because we are not studying from the outer level. We are going into the deep manner in order to rectify certain stuffs. Let me move to the next part, that is the deep belief network. Now, what exactly this is? Deep belief network. When you talk about the deep belief network, so deep belief network is a class of deep neural network. Means the next part is the class. Class means what? It belongs to the deep neural network basically. That comprises of multi-level, multi-layer of belief network. Belief means what? That we are thinking about it. We are assured about it. Yes, this could be. You are having certain kind of like, assumptions. Assumptions are nothing but the belief. You're making some strong decisions. You're making some sort of like, you're just making sure about some data inside your mind. Yes, this could be the scenario. See, what you people are doing over here, you people are doing, you're just rectifying the features of the face. So this is the belief that you people are doing. The same thing I'm explaining over here. And the next one is a recurrent neural network. First, I thought about the input and output. Now I'm talking about the belief, and now I'm talking about something else. Now what it is? It permits parallel as well as sequential computations. Means we are feeding the data now. We are doing the computation part. So the computation part can be into the parallel manner, or it could be into the sequential manner. In both the manner, I have to do the things so far. So this recurrent neural network is working in the same manner how your human brain actually do it. Since they are capable, capable enough to recognize the things, to generate the kind of what you can say data out of the things what they are having into their hands. So on the basis of received, whatever input they have received, they try to use it in order to make certain stuffs out of it, in order to make any kind of output so far. So they are very much precise. So this step is very much precise, because on the basis of input data that we are able to get, we are trying to make it more accurate, we are trying to make it more and more precise. This is what is happening into this recurrent. So this is just a layer, actually 3 layers. First one is the network. I have defined the network, and inside that network what I am doing, I am just trying to generate a kind of belief, multi-layer belief network would be there. Means belief on the basis of what? The correct data. Somehow 98%, 99% correct data. I will try to connect that data. I will try to connect that data. I would try to make a connectivity formulation onto that. And after taking the connectivity formulations, I will also consider my input, and then I will try to make certain things. I will try to make certain decisions out of it. The preciseness, which is very much important. So in this particular session, student, we have studied what is deep learning, why it is so important, what is the requirement of this deep learning. We have gone through that it is acting as a subset of the machine learning. For machine learning implementation, we really require the deep learning. And when we combine these two features, that is deep learning and machine learning, we come up with a very appropriate application of the artificial intelligence. This is how the stuffs are going on so far, dear students. So now today we would be sorry for the interruption. So today we would be covering this much part only. When I will just go for my next session, or whenever I will come with my next session, I will continue the rest of the part. So I hope from this particular session you would have at least got some points. Some points means about what is deep learning. Okay, what are the important aspect of deep learning basically. Okay, how the structurization of deep learning is taking place. So students, thank you so very much for attending this particular session. See you into my next session. We will continue from the next particular slide of this particular chapter itself. Thank you so very much. Be safe. Take care of yourself. Thank you.